Gina out in Snowball. It's going to be 4 different projects line itemed out that I'll estimate her on depending what she accepts or doesn't. Just check the notes. So I'll start in the backyard with the biggest project for sure will be, so this is an old vegetable garden. The backstory is she's getting an in-ground pool here, and basically she wants to cut this bed in half. So you can get with her on the specifics. This is a little bit of a funkier, not a clear-cut type of job that we typically would do, but I think it's one that we can handle. So if you see, starting basically kind of where the yard starts to incline is where she wants to cut it, and I'll show you the exact spot. So for fence panels, there's 1, 2, 3, and then it's like right here you actually see the wood ties break, and they're tied together with just, we'll need like a screw gun, take the screws out, but that's where she wants to cut it and then keep all of this and then get rid of all of this. So the actual mechanical type of work that you'll need to do is she wants to close this off, so we'll have to take these wood ties and then turn them that way to meet the fence, so it's kind of enclosed into this area, and then all this will be completely gone. It's all just weeds. There's some old like plants in here, but it's basically just all weeds. We'll have to cut it out. I'm going to specify that we're not going to level out the ground of any sort. We're just going to rip out the growth. Leveling the ground will have to be something that she would address later. Once we get this stuff out, I'll make that clear in the notes. And then these things, obviously, you just put them to the side. And then the chicken wire, you would cut it at some point and then like close it off that way. She was talking about a gate or something. I told her we can't do anything with gates. We could just basically put the chicken wire there, and if she wants to finagle some type of a gate on her own, that's fine, but we won't be able to help her with that. So yeah, so you're cutting the wood ties that way and closing the chicken wire fence, and then you'll have obviously extra chicken wire fence. I told her we can't take that away for her. She said that's fine, you could probably just throw it over there in the corner. And then these wood ties, you'll use a little bit to close out here, but I told her same thing, we won't be able to take that away unless Britain takes those. I don't think they do. I'd have to double check, but I told her probably not, and we'd have to leave them as well, and she can do whatever with them. So this whole area, just completely rip all this growth out and get rid of it, haul it away. The access to the backyard's over there, so it is a little bit of a walk. So like, you know, just chop it all down, brush cut it down, chop it all down. And then over here, same thing, basically getting rid of all this, clean slate, but she does want to keep this garden. But you're killing everything in here. She said just chop it all down. Don't spray anything because she's going to plant eventually, but try to chop it all the way down to the dirt. Try to rake over the dirt a little bit if you can, loosen it up, and just have it a clean slate for her to plant stuff for next year. So a good amount of growth and brush and crap and weeds and everything going on here. This one is going to be a bit of a bear, honestly. It's just like a weed, but it's like in the wire, so you're gonna have to use your best, like with the chainsaw attachment, to try to cut it the best we can. So that is that project in that area. That's part 1. Part 2, back here, she just wants a clean slate. This is stuff growing, all the growth here, just rip it out. Now it is stone underneath there, so you're not going to be able to like go crazy with the string trimmer and brush cutter. You can, but you can't get too low, so that will be a little bit more labor intensive. But anyway, just clean slating this whole area, cutting everything out. The only thing we're going to leave is this rose bush here, so the rest just cutting out and getting rid of. She's talking about maybe planting stuff, but that would be for her to get and deal with. We can plant it for a price, but we're just doing the work of clearing it out. And then part 3 is, I'm going to probably price this 2 ways for her. One would be the labor intensive of hand pulling all the weeds that are growing through the cracks. 2 would be string trim it all down, so I have to get everything out of here and then just spray Roundup. That would be option 2. She does have pets, so I told her if she did do that option, she'd have to like spray it and give it like a day or 2 till the pets could come out here. So that's the 2 options there. So that's 3. And then the 4th and final thing is in the front yard. Front yard is weeding out the beds and trimming up some stuff over here. So it is rock, so you will have to hand pull everything. Everything goes except the plants, which is this little, it's like a boxwood. You can leave that. Maybe even do a light prune just to give it some shape. The hostas you can leave. That is a weed, pull that out. All this growth here is weeds you can pull out. All of this is weeds, you can just pull them out. There is a little bit of ground ivy here. She does want to keep that, but you can see, you know, ground ivy, keep it, but then this little funky weed, pull out. Funky weed here, pull out. Anything with this type of texture looking leaf is ground ivy. There's not much, just a little bit right there. And then these bushes she wants trimmed up, so basically wants them off of the house. So some clearance from the house. So this one, just trim it away and off the house. You can do it a light prune and shaping everywhere else as well. This larger tree in the middle, we can just snip, you know, maybe like 4 or 5 feet high. So the ones that are like really low hanging, just give it like a snip, sort of like an umbrella type of look. Don't gotta get crazy with it because it's not super full, but just kind of snip this bottom part so when they're mowing their yard, they're not like walking through it type of deal. This you can trim back a little bit more dramatically on this side because it's really encroaching onto this plant. So cut that back, and then light pruning of that. And really the main, outside of the main or more important concern is the branches that are close to the house. She said they're always like smacking the house when it's windy and stuff. So just trim those off and away from the house. Pole pruner will do it. I'm wondering if the 6-foot with the chainsaw attachment should even do it fine to get up there. It's about 12 foot high, maybe 11 foot high. I think you can get it with the chainsaw attachment and 6-foot ladder. Don't think you'll need the 8-foot or the pole pruner, and that's it.